there that can interact with this conductor, and due to that amount of voltage that will generate in this conductor also. So that is nothing but electromagnetism. Electromagnetism means what? The electromagnetism means the conductor which are getting the electrical supply, and that at outcome it is given a magnetism. So that is simply electromagnetism. Now, what is the fundamentals of electricity? Fundamentals of electricity, I would like to explain. If suppose we have two water tank, what we have two water tank, and one tank is placed at the top and the another one is placed at the bottom. So just to understand, there is a one water tank and another one is there. Okay, so this water tank has been filled up by the water, and this one also. But now what will happen if suppose I'll connect one pipe to this? So what will happen? Just anyone can tell from which direction, from top to bottom or from bottom to top, water will flow? Obviously, water will flow from top to bottom. Why? Because there is high pressure and here is a low pressure. Am I getting? Please let me know the whether you people all are getting or not what I am explaining. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So whenever we are keeping the one tank of water at the top side and another at the bottom side, then due to the high pressure, the water from top tank will flow towards the bottom tank. Okay, similarly, if suppose here we have one voltage source means we have one supply here and another one we have here. So if suppose we will consider, here we have 300 volt, here we have 300 volt, and suppose here we have 100 volt. Okay, the volt is nothing but unit of voltage, that is unit of voltage. So suppose here is a high voltage and here is a low voltage. So obviously in electrical circuit, our current will flow from high voltage to the low voltage. That means the potential difference, this is the potential which is available at, I will say here A point, here B point. So whatever potential available here, this is the 300 volt, and the potential available at B point, that is the 100 volt. So difference between these two is known as a potential difference. Difference between these two is known as a potential difference, and the difference is 200 volt. The difference is 200 volt. Now, few more concept I would like to explain. That is, suppose we will consider there is a one pipe. Okay, there is a one pipe. This is the terminology which we have to understand. Okay, nothing else. So suppose this is the one pipe, and suppose we are forcing a water to flow through this pipe. Suppose this is the water flowing through the pipe. Now, just once you will understand this terminology, then you will easily understand how the current will flow through the conductor. What is the resistance? What is the voltage? That all things you will understand. Now, suppose we will apply some force to this side. If we apply some force to this side, then what happens? This water will flow through this side and the pressure we will get this side. Okay, so I'll consider this is the A point of pipe and this is the B point of pipe. So suppose if we apply the pressure at pipe at point B, then what happens? That water will flow fastly. Okay, that water will flow fastly. So we can say the intensity of flow of water is maximum. So that water we will consider as a current in electrical language. In electrical language, we correlate this water as a current. Okay, and this pipe we will consider as a conductor. Now, what happens? What we will do? We will just make one hole at this place. We will make one hole at this place, one hole at this place. So what happens? Water may get down from this side, water may get out from this side, and the water which will come at the B point, that will be the less. So that means these holes are wasting our water. That means this is making losses. So in electricity, this is also known as a electrical losses. Now what happens if suppose some of the small pieces of stone we will put into this pipe? We will put some small stone pieces into this water. So now whatever the speed of water, what the was the at earliest, that will become reduce or increase. If suppose we will add some stone pieces into that pipe, then whatever the speed of the water, whatever the flow of water at B point, will it increase or will it decrease? Anybody can say?
Decrease.
It will decrease. Why? Because it is facing some hurdles. It is facing some hurdles. That is why it is giving less flow of water. So that is nothing but what in electrical language we will say that is resistance. So what is the function of resistance? The function of resistance is to oppose the flow of current. To oppose the flow of current. Till here, anybody having any doubt? Everyone clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes. So the resistance, what is the definition for resistance? The resistance is a particle element which oppose to flow of current. Okay. Now, how current का flow होतो? Why this current is flowing here? Because due to the high pressure and low pressure, always water as well as current flow from the high to the low. So due to that, current will take place. So what is meant by current? Current is nothing but the flow of electrons. The flow of electrons, nothing but current. Okay. So now we'll come to the point. If suppose I'll apply more force at this A point, I will apply more force on this A point. Then what will happen about the water or current? Will it increase or will it decrease? Or the intensity of water or intensity of current, will it increase or decrease? When I'll increase the force at this side, force will be increased this side. So what will happen? The flow of water and flow of current will also increase or decrease? Obviously it will increase, right? So that means we know our whatever the pressure is there, that is also known as a voltage, and our current is increasing. So that voltage is directly proportional to the current. Okay. Then about resistance, if we will increase more and more resistance, if we will increase more and more resistance, then what will happen? Then our current will reduce, our current or our flow of water will reduce. Means resistance is inversely proportional to the current, inversely proportional to the current. So I got the equation, that is V is equal to I into R, and that is known as a Ohm's law in electrical language. That is known as a electrical Ohm's law. Okay, so this is the basic concepts we need to clear before going for these practicals. So now we'll understand about the course objectives. Okay, so in that course objectives, we will understand various concepts and applications of electrical motors which are used in the mechanical engineering. Okay, so just let me admit the students. So that electrical motors, for example, electrical induction motor, DC motor, synchronous motor, where are these motor using in mechanical engineering? So in industry, you know that the machines are used to convey the some materials to in cranes also, in lifts also. In mechanical engineering, electrical motors also plays an important role. So what is that use, how these motors are started, all that things we will understand. Then what will be the course outcomes for this for this electrical technology? So after the completion of these practicals or this part, you will understand or you will identify or you can find the motors which as per the application, as per the industrial application, you can find the motors. For example, suppose anyone from you will join a industry, and at that place he wants to just lift some kind of weight. So which kind of motor he should choose? So that things he will understand and after the completion of these practicals. Second thing, there is a speed control methods. Speed control means what? Means if suppose one of you from our class, if even is riding a bike, and if suppose there is a speed breaker, then what we will do? We will just deaccelerate, or we will just place our foot onto the brake. So that means we are controlling the speed. because to avoid the damages, because to damage the harmless. Okay, so that means in electrical engineering, in mechanical engineering, whatever the motors we are using, we have to control the speed of that motors, and that speed control methods we will understand in this electrical technology subject. Okay, so various practicals, there is a 8 practicals total, and out of that 8 we are going to deal with the 6 practicals. Okay, so that 6 practicals will be the first one, that is the speed control of DC shunt motor by flux control method. Second one, that will be the speed control of DC shunt motor by armature voltage control method. Third one will be the study of starters used for the DC shunt motors. Fourth one, that will be the load test on DC motor. Fifth one, again the load test of three-phase induction motor. And the sixth one, we will go for the study of starters used for the three-phase induction motor. Also, we will go for the study of the different types of the AC and DC motors. Okay, so that 6 practicals we will go. Today I had chosen the practical number 3. That practical number 3 today I had taken for the explanation. So that practical number 3 is that study of starters used for the shunt DC shunt motor. Okay, so before going for the practical, I would like to some questions from your side, because many of you from the agricultural backgrounds, many of you from the rural backgrounds, so everyone heard the word about starter. How many of you, just raise your hands, how many of you heard the word of starter? Okay, Shubham, Suhas, Rakesh, Balaji, Suyog, Kedar, Rajkumar, Shubham. Thank you for response. Yeah, many more are responding. So everyone heard the word of starter. So what is that? What does that mean? What is the starter? Anyone? Can you tell? What is the starter? Okay, fine. No issue. So first of all, let me tell you one thing. So one question again. Everyone, do you understood Ohm's law properly? प्रत्येकाला ओहम्स लॉ हा व्यवस्थित कळालेला आहे का? Fine. I'll consider that you all are well gone through the Ohm's law. Again, I am explaining here. Ohm's law states that V is equal to I into R, where V stands for the voltage, I stands for the current, R stands for the resistance. We can write this equation like I is equal to V divided by R. Also, we can write this equation R is equal to V divided by I. Any kind of type you can write the equation. Okay. Now, I'll take you to the next step. Here, the starter. First thing we will understand, that is the why starter is necessary. Okay. So the starter. In this starter, important factor or important thing, that is why it is required, why it is used. Okay. So fine. So firstly, whenever we are operating on the DC motor, so DC motors means what, that we will clear first. DC motor means it is a motor which works on the DC supply. DC supply means what, it is a direct current supply. Okay, so अशा मोटर्स ज्या DC सप्लाय वरती चालतात, त्या मोटर्सना जो काही स्टार्टर वापरला जातो, त्या स्टार्टर बद्दल आज आपण शिकणार आहोत. Okay, so in that starter, whenever we are applying voltage, that time this motor will draw some current. So let me explain you the working of DC motor, how this motor will works. So first thing, there is a one stator. Okay, there is a one rotor. Okay, so what happens? First thing, your DC motor, now that rotor having a supply, that stator having a supply, but how it will works, so let me tell you. First of all, we are giving a supply to the DC motor. This is the positive negative terminals, and the 220 volt we will give to the motor. Then what happens? That motor will create a magnetic field. That motor will create a magnetic field, or we can say the stator of the motor. The stator of the motor will create the magnetic field. Then this magnetic field will start to rotate. This magnetic field will start to rotate. So whenever this magnetic field will start to rotate, that time the rotor which is placed inside the stator, that will having some amount of magnetism. So due to the magnetism of this rotating field and due to the magnetism of this rotor will also try to interact with this magnetic field. It will try to interact with this magnetic field. Once this rotor will interact towards the magnetic field, then our rotor will start to rotate. So that is the working funda. So as per the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, let me tell you, when current carrying conductor placed in a rotating magnetic field, you can write it down. When current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, then it experiences force. Then it experiences force. That is the law of electromagnetic induction stated by the Faraday. Okay. So same funda here, whenever this force will be generated, at that time there is a equation which is V is equal to EB plus IARA, VB plus IARA. So how this equation comes? The V is nothing but the applied voltage or the supply voltage. EB is nothing but the voltage which is generated due to the rotation of this rotor. Means voltage generated inside the rotor, that is known as a EB, that is called as a back EMF. That is called as a back EMF. Okay. This IA is armature current. That means the current which is flowing through the armature. RA, that is nothing but armature resistance. Now here armature and field, those two words you will understand, you will come to know every time. You will listen that words, that is armature and a field. Armature means what? Armature means stator. Field means what? Field means rotor. You just keep in mind. So that equation you will hear. Now let me clear everything and rewrite the equation. Okay, so the equation was V is equal to EB plus IARA. Now tell me, if I want to control, I want to calculate the value for current, then how this equation will be? This equation will be like IA is equal to V minus EB divided by RA. Are you agree with me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So equation we got for the current, that is the V minus EB divided by RA. Now this equation you should keep in mind. From this equation, one thing you should understand, if I'll increase the RA, if I'll increase the value of RA, then obviously my armature current will decrease or increase. What will happen if I'll increase the armature current? It will decrease. Why? Because due to the inversely proportional ratio. So just keeping this one mind, now we will understand DC motor as a rest condition. So if suppose our DC motor is at rest condition, means our rotor is not rotating. If our rotor is not rotating, then it will not generate EMF. That means it will have zero back EMF. If it will have zero back EMF, then after n we will get the equation IA is equal to V upon RA. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have only this equation. Now suppose we will supply the full supply voltage. We will apply the full supply voltage At that time, what happened, our resistance value is a very small value. Whenever we are manufacturing the DC motor, that time our resistance value is very less because of efficiency, or we can say that due to the less losses, we kept the armature resistance value at a small. So due to the small resistance, whenever we will apply the full supply voltage, then our starting current will be the maximum value. Our starting current will be the maximum value. Now, if suppose we will supply very large current at the starting, then this can damage our motor. This can damage our motor. Okay, so to avoid the such thing, what we have to do, we have to increase this armature resistance. Why? Because if we will increase the armature resistance, then our current will decrease. But practically this is not possible that we can increase the armature resistance, so that is why we have to add external resistance into the circuitry. We have to add the external resistance into the circuitry, and that external resistance will be in series with the armature resistance. So that armature resistance will get increased. So the process of this adding armature resistance, why we are doing like that way? Because we want to limit the starting current. What we want to do? We are doing, or we are limiting the starting current. Okay, so if in Viva anyone asks you what is the function of starter, the function of starter is to limit the starting current. To limit the starting current. Now there are again three types of starter. There is a 2-point starter, there is a 3-point starter, there is a 4-point starter. Now we will go back for the understanding of this starter. Okay, now is it visible? Starter image?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now here you can see this is the 2-point starter. Now first I would like to tell you why it is known as a 2-point starter. The simple 2-point starter because it has two terminals which are here. So basically this is the 3-point starter, but few types are there, like we can say 2-point starter, 3-point starter, 4-point. So 2-point starter, this is used for the series motor. This is used for the series motor. Why? Because why? Because it is not used for the DC shunt motor, because as it is having some problems regarding the spreading issue, that is the spreading current. So due to that spreading current issue, the 2-point starter is not suitable for the DC shunt motor. It is suitable for only series motor. So we will go for the only 3-point starter. So how this 3-point starter works, how these resistances will get added, all that things I will explain here. Now this L is nothing but this is my line. We can say this is the positive terminal. This is the negative terminal. I will say this is the negative terminal. Here we are applying 220 volt DC supply, 220 volt DC. Okay. Now once I will apply the voltage, just keep in mind everything I will explain. Here at right upper top side, you can see the resistances, and every resistance is having their spot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it is okay. Then here is the one knob. We can say this is the rod. This is the rod. Okay, this is the holding clip. This is the holding clip. We can say this is the holding clip. Okay, then this is the circular is there, that is the spring, that is the spring. Then here is one rod with the pin, that is the triangular iron phase, so that is known as a overload coil. Overload coil, OLC. Here is one coil. Here is one coil. This coil is known as a NVC. NVC stands for the no voltage coil. Okay. Then all the things are clear here now. Now here at the right side there is a N. This N stands for the neutral. F stands for the field. That is F stands for the field that is connected to the field winding of motor. That is connected to the field winding of motor. This A stands for the armature that is connected to the armature of motor. So that is the introductory part of the 3-point starter. Now we'll come to the exact working. Okay. Now how it will work? So whenever I will give the supply to this mode to the starter, what will happen? See, my current will flow through this way from this coil, then this from this way, and this come to the rod, and this rod is here. So obviously that rod is connected with this way. Okay. Now suppose at the first stage my rod is connected to the one terminal. Now see, if my rod is connected to the one, then my current will flow through this resistance, this resistance, this resistance, this resistance, and this. Finally it will come to here, and then come to the armature, and then it will come to the end. Then second thing also, whenever that coil will be here, once my rod is at one position, then my this coil will be here. It might be here. So that means my secondary current will flow through this way, and another current will flow through this way. Okay, so like that way my loop will be completely closed, and due to that closing of loop my motor will start. So at the start you can see all resistance is connected in series. So all these resistances are connected in series. So there is one rule: if the resistances are connected in series, then their equivalent resistance is nothing but, suppose 1 2 3, these are resistances, then their equivalent resistances is 6. That means the resistances will get added once they are connected in series. There will be addition in resistances if they are connected in series. Okay. So this is the basic about the resistance. So now all 5 resistances are connected in series, so that's why the resistance value will be maximum. Due to the high resistance value, the current will be minimum, and that will flow through the circuit. Now I'll come to the second rod. Now once I'll come to the second rod, what will happen? My R1 resistance will get out of the circuit. My R1 resistance will get out of the circuit. That means whatever the resistance will be present at the one point, that will be minimized. Means little bit resistance is reduced. That means my current will little bit increase. Then for third place, at here, if I'll take my rod at third place, then my 2 resistance cell will get out, then my current will again increase. Slowly I will keep my rod at this position, then also my all 3 resistances will get out of the circuit. Then I'll keep this to the this way. Okay, so like that way also my all resistances will be eliminated, and the last my rod will rested in peace, like R5, all resistances will get eliminated, and at that time my motor will be runs at a full load current. My motors will run at a full current. Now I will explain why this no voltage coil is there, why this overload coil is there. So the reason behind that is, whenever we will apply the current, if suppose the current is above the rated voltage, means suppose if you have ability to hit a 3 pulley, and if we are given 5 pulleys to you, then that means overload will be here. That means there will be the overload. Okay, so here as easily we know that V is equal to V upon Ra. That is the equation for the I. So now we are inserting the resistance into the circuitry. That is the V divided by Ra plus Rs. So if there is excessive current flowing through the circuit, that time this iron piece will be attached to this way. And due to that, once that will attach, this iron piece will short this terminal and this terminal. So once this short this terminal, that time there will be the zero current flowing. Similarly, no voltage coil means what? Whenever we will apply voltage and this rod is connected to this point, third point, fourth point, fifth point, that time this coil will work as it will hold the rod. It will hold the rod because this coil will having a magnetism, and due to the magnetism it will attract to this rod. So once our supply will be off, then this coil will lost its magnetism and it will leave this rod at the rest position. So that is about the 3-point starter. So sometimes we can call this is a hold on coil. Sometimes this is called as a hold on coil also. Okay, so now there will be some questions for you guys. What will be the drawbacks for this 3-point starter? As we know that the starter has only 3 points for the external connection. That 3 points are nothing but what? Neutral, field and armature. So whenever we will apply flux control method, at that time there is, due to the addition of resistance into the field circuitry, the current or current flowing through that will reduce, and that will not more efficient for this type of control. So this is the one major drawback. Now we will discuss on the viva questions which will be asked on this practical. That are the, what is the necessity of starter in the DC motor? List the starters. Then first question that will be the, what is the necessity of starter? Who will answer? Why we use starter? I had explained, to limit the starting current. Got it? Getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Then second question will be the, list the starter used for DC motor. Then this is a 2-point starter, 3-point starter, 4-point starter. Then what is the function of hold on coil? काय function असतं तर hold on coil is used to hold the rod whenever supply is on. Then what is the function of overload coil? That is used whenever excessive amount of current will flow through that, then this will short the terminals and it will off the starter. Then what are the disadvantages? What are the disadvantages? So disadvantage, as we say, the during the field control method or flux control method, we can see some disadvantages in the 3-point starter. So this is all about this experiment. Let me give a 2 minutes. I'll just upload the experiment. Okay, so you can complete your write-ups. Just hold on for a minute. You might have known that your external examination for this subject is scheduled, I think, on 10th or 11th. Okay, so according to that, you should complete the write-ups as the earliest, and just I'll share the link for that same. You should upload that. Okay.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Please explain again, once again, working of starter.
Working of starter. Okay, fine. Okay. So as we had gone through the equation, that equation is clear to you. Let me know your good name.
Yes, sir. Balaji PC.
Okay, you understood the equation for the Ohm's law, right? That is nothing but what? V is equal to IR. Okay, so from that equation we come to know that whenever we can control our armature current with the help of this equation, V minus EB divided by RA. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So now in that such case, we understood that at the rest condition, whenever our motor is at at a zero speed, that time our EB is equal to 0. Okay, so that means we will ignore that one. So we got the equation only IA is equal to V divided by RA. Okay, so now in that case we can control, or we can adjust our IA by varying the armature resistance. But the armature resistance is a manufacturing defect. Whenever we are manufacturing the DC motors, at that time we are just putting resistance into that, so we cannot change that. But we can add resistance into that. We can add resistance into that. External resistance, I can say Rex. Okay, so if we will increase the resistance, then what will happen about current? That will decrease, right?
Yes, sir.
So now just keep in mind this equation. We will consider applied voltage is a constant. Okay, so now we will apply the voltage. So suppose I am applying the voltage here, so my current will flow through this way. Okay, so whenever my current will flowing through this way, then it will flow through this rod. Now first situation, so for better understanding, I had explained in English first. Now I will continue with the Marathi, so that will help you to understand very well. सो आपण इथं काय करतो की सुरुवातीला हा जो रॉड असतो तो आपला रेस्ट कंडिशनला असतो. तर हा इथं आपण एक 1 2 3 4 5 असे 6 आपले नॉब असतात. तर पहिल्यांदा आपण काय करूया की पहिल्यांदा आपण हा रॉड जो आहे तो 1 नंबर वरती घेऊन जाऊया. जेव्हा मी हा रॉड 1 नंबर वरती घेऊन जाईल तेव्हा माझा हा करंट इथून जो आलेला आहे तो असा फ्लो होईल, या रॉडच्या थ्रू कुठे जाईल, इथे जाईल, आणि इथून हा काय करेल, या सगळ्या रेजिस्टन्सेसला पास करेल आणि तो कुठे येईल, इकडे शेवटी येईल आणि त्याच्यानंतर तो मोटरला जाईल. ठीक आहे, इथपर्यंत काही डाऊट?
No doubt.
त्यावेळेस काय होतं की जेव्हा मी इथं सप्लाय दिलेला असतो, ड्यू टू द सप्लाय या रॉडला काय असते, तर इथे एक होल्डिंग कॉईल कनेक्ट असते. तर ही होल्डिंग कॉईल काय होते ते मी सांगतो. सुरुवातीला जेव्हा माझा या रॉड मधून करंट फ्लो व्हायला लागतो त्यावेळेस हा होल्डिंग कॉईल काय होते, चार्ज होते, म्हणजे ही मॅग्नेटाइज होते. म्हणजे हा थोडक्यात एक मॅग्नेट असतो. जेव्हा ही होल्डिंग कॉईल मॅग्नेटाइज व्हायला लागते तेव्हा काय होतं, ड्यू टू द मॅग्नेटिझम हे काय करते, या प्लंजरला किंवा या रॉडला होल्ड करून ठेवते. काय करून ठेवते, होल्ड करून ठेवते. म्हणून इथून जेव्हा आपला हा रॉड इथे फिरतो तेव्हा ही जी स्ट्रीप असते, या स्ट्रीप मधून करंट फ्लो होतो, इथे येतो आणि ह्या कॉइलला चार्ज करतो आणि नंतर हा क्लोज लूप इथे कम्प्लीट होतो. ठीक आहे, आणि तोच करंट परत काय होतो, इथून फील्डला पण जातो. त्याच्यानंतर मी काय करतो की माझी पोझिशन चेंज करतो आणि 1 वरून रॉड माझा हा मी 2 नंबरला घेऊन जातो. whenever I'll take this rod to the second position, at that time काय दिसतंय सांगा तुम्हाला, इथून करंट कुठे फ्लो होईल, इकडे फ्लो होईल, बरोबर. म्हणजे सर्किट मधून काय कट झालं सांगा,
R1 resistance.
R1 रेजिस्टन्स. म्हणजे सुरुवातीला माझ्याकडे रेजिस्टन्स किती होता, R1 प्लस R2. आपण लक्षात घेऊया, इथं माझा 10 ओहम आहे, इथे 10 आहे, इथे 10 आहे, इथे 10 आहे, इथे 10 आहे. ओके, आपण एक एक्झाम्पल पर्पज घेऊया. माझा व्होल्टेज आपण समजूया मी 200 दिलेला आहे. ठीक आहे, मी इथे लिहूनच देतो तुम्हाला. IA इज इक्वल टू, माझं व्होल्टेज कॉन्स्टंट आहे, 200, चेंज होणार नाही. आता रेजिस्टन्स सुरुवातीला RA काहीतरी माझा असेल XYZ 10 असेल सपोज, आणि मी काय केलं, माझा टोटल रेजिस्टन्स ऍड केला. सिरीज मध्ये रेजिस्टन्स काय होतं म्हणून सांगितलं मगाशी मी, ऍडिशन होती की सबस्ट्रॅक्शन?
Addition.
ऍडिशन. म्हणजे इथं 5 रेजिस्टन्स सर्किट मध्ये आले म्हणजे याचे ऍडिशन किती झाले, 50. 50 आणि इथला माझा RA 10 म्हणजे किती झाला, इथं 60. म्हणजे 200 डिवाइडेड बाय 60 म्हणजे अराउंड मला इथं भेटत असेल 3. ओके, समथिंग 3.5 वी विल कन्सिडर. इज दॅट क्लिअर?
Yes, sir.
ओके, नाउ वी विल रिमूव्ह दिस रेजिस्टन्स. हा रेजिस्टन्स रिमूव्ह झाल्यानंतर आपला सर्किट मध्ये रेजिस्टन्स किती राहिला सांगा ऍडिशन करून?
50.
40. आणि हा आर्मेचर 50 म्हणजे 50 झाला. म्हणजे कसं येणार, 200 डिवायडेड बाय 50 किती आला करंट? वाढला का करंट सांगा भाऊ?
Yes, sir.
म्हणजे आपल्याला स्टार्टिंग करंट फक्त लिमिट करायचं. एकदा का माझी मोटर स्टार्ट झाली देन आय कॅन इन्क्रीज माय करंट. सो हळूहळू परत मी काय करेन, तिसऱ्या नंबरच्या रॉड वरती घेईन. मग किती रेजिस्टन्स कट झाले, 2. म्हणजे राहिला रेजिस्टन्स किती इथं, 40. म्हणजे माझा करंट किती होईल, परत 5 होईल. हळूहळू मी परत काय करेन, चेंज करत शेवटी येईन आणि ऍट दॅट मोमेंट ऑल रेजिस्टन्सेस विल गेट आउट ऑफ द सर्किट अँड माय मोटर विल रन ऍट अ रेटेड करंट. बरोबर.
Yes, sir.
आता आपल्याला काय करायचं, हे सगळं मी कट करतोय. याच्यानंतर आपल्याला बघायचंय की इथं जी कॉईल असते याच्या कॉईलमध्ये एक रेटिंग असते. या कॉईलला, ह्या कॉईलला काय असतं, रेटिंग असतात. हे ऍक्च्युअली जे 2 डॉट दिसत आहेत इथं, हे डॉट असतात इथे, हे डॉट असतात इथे असे. ठीक आहे, म्हणजे मी इथं काढून दाखवतो तुम्हाला असे. ठीक आहे, तर काय होतं की आता हे डॉट ओपन असतात. स्टार्टिंगला हे डॉट काय असतात, ओपन असतात. ठीक आहे, बट जेव्हा एखाद्या वेळेस काहीतरी फॉल्ट होतो, काहीतरी एक्स्ट्रा लोड होतो, ओव्हरलोड होतो, त्यावेळेस काय होतं, जास्त करंट फ्लो होतो. तसं झाल्यानंतर काय होतं, ड्यू टू द हेवी करंट इथं काय होतं, तुमची ही जी आयर्न आहे ना, ती आयर्न काय होते, इथं मॅग्नेटिझम तयार होतं आणि ही मॅग्नेटिझम तयार झालं की ही काय करते, अशी वरती जाऊन इथं अट्रॅक्ट होते ह्या दोन नॉबला. मग ह्याला अट्रॅक्ट झाली म्हणजे हे दोन टर्मिनल काय झाले, शॉर्ट झाले. हे दोन टर्मिनल शॉर्ट झाले म्हणजे इथले टर्मिनल शॉर्ट झाले, म्हणजे तुमचा जो काही करंट फ्लो होणार आहे तो काय होतो, इमिडिएटली झिरो होतो. त्यामुळे व्होल्टेज झिरो होतं. त्याच्यामुळे तुमची ही होल्डिंग कॉईल जी असते ती कॉईल काय करते, हिचं मॅग्नेटिझम लूज करते. एकदा का तिने तिचं मॅग्नेटिझम लूज केलं की तुमची मोटर काय होते, बंद पडते. येतं लक्षात? सो दिस इज द सिम्पल वर्किंग. ओके, दिस इज द सिम्पल वर्किंग. लक्षात येतंय आता?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Fine, fine. Now, just give me a second. Okay, just check your WhatsApp group. I had shared one file there. Okay, so this is the practical number 3 I had given there. So you start to write it down. Okay. Have you received?
No, sir. Yet.
Okay, just wait for a minute. It will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hmm? Okay, received.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Let me show you one thing. Okay, so you can understand easily how this is looks like a म्हणजे स्टार्टर कसा असतो हे तुमच्या लक्षात येईल. हे पहा इथं जस्ट गुगल केल्यावरती दिसतं तुम्हाला, इथं दिसतंय हा राईट साइडला. इज इट विजिबल?
Yes, sir.
So so see here, can you see there some dot? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here you can see there is a this side. This is the first left overload coil. This is right holding coil. So once I will just push this, I will just push this that rod to right side, right side, right side. So it every time one like that way every resistance will get out of the circuitry. Okay. So this is the simple working. This is the simple working of 3-point starter. Okay. So this is here also you can see. Okay. So like that way 3-point starter works. Fine. So now within last remaining time, let me check just a minute. Okay, wait for 2 minutes. Okay, you just wait for 2 minutes. We'll continue for the one more study practical. That is the same as we had seen for the study of starters used for DC motor. Now one more we will see, that is study for the three-phase induction motor. So what are the starters used for the three-phase induction motor? That we will also continue. Just hold on for a minute. Okay, is it visible? Hello,
Yes, sir.
am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, fine, thank you. So this is the like another one study practical, that is the study of starters used for the three-phase induction motor. So earlier the which we have seen, that was the study of starters used for the DC motor, right? So now first of all we will understand what is the difference between DC motor and induction motor. So it is very simple that whatever the DC motor, that means it is used on the DC supply, it is working on DC supply. Second, that is the three-phase induction motor, means it is a AC motors. That means the alternating current or AC supply has to be given through the motor, so then only that can work. Okay. So again, what is the working principle of this induction motor? The same. Uh, Here I'll show you. Yeah. So just hold on for a minute. So here you can see, if suppose there is a one piece of iron, and suppose we will keep that iron piece with the magnetic material like that way. Okay. And what happens? So if suppose this is a magnetic piece, like I can write here magnet. This is a magnet, and this is the iron piece, that is the having a magnetic property. Okay. So what happens? Due to the magnetism around the surface, that will attract this iron towards itself. So once this iron will attract towards the magnet, then the surface of iron will also get magnetized. That is means what? The that is magnetization, or the magnetic field that is inducing around the iron also, right? So same like way, whenever the current carrying conductor placed in a rotating magnetic field, suppose this is the rotating magnetic field, and suppose in this rotating magnetic field, what we will do, we will or we can say this is the stationary field. Okay, this is the stationary field. And if suppose we will keep the rotor inside this, okay, if we'll keep the rotor inside this, then this what happens? Due to the rotating magnetic flux, what happens? That our rotor will induce the force, that rotor will induce the force. So this is the working principle of induction motor, and it based on the AC supply. Okay, so it is based on the AC supply, and that is why it is known as an induction motor. Then the practical, what is the okay. So that starter, now what is the what the starter is used? Because as we had seen in case of the in case of our case of DC motor, like our DC motor having high excessive current. So due to that excessive current, we are here also using a starter in case of induction motor. Why? Because in that induction motor also starting current is maximum. Okay, starting current is maximum also. Here we can see there is the types of the starter. So first, that is a stator resistance starter. So what does it mean? So as we know that at the starting, our speed of motor is zero. Speed of motor is at zero. Okay. So whenever the speed of motor is zero, but whatever the magnitude of rotor induced EMF, that is very large at the starting. So that is why our rotor conductors are short circuited. So due to that short circuit, there is possibility to circulate very high current through the motor. So that condition exactly meets with the like a transformer also. So now we know that as a rural area or an agricultural area, there is a 5 HP motor, 7 HP, 10 HP motor. So these all motors are very high ratings. So in that motor we use the starter, that is the आपण इथं प्रत्येक जण शेतकऱ्यांची कोणी असतील तर पहा त्यांना माहिती आहे की घरी जर आपण शेतातली मोटर चालू करायची असेल तर आपण स्टार्टर वापरतो, बरोबर. तर तो स्टार्टर का वापरला जातो? टू प्रोटेक्ट द मोटर फ्रॉम द हाय एक्सेसिव्ह करंट. सो दॅट इज द रिझन. Okay, so the reason behind the motor, reason behind the starter, that is to limit the current only, not else. Okay, so here the first type of the starter which is used for the DC motor, resistance induction motor, that is the stator resistance motor. Okay, so in that stator resistance starter, what we will do here, you can see there is a three-phase supply is given. RYB, that is the red, yellow, blue, that is the three-phase supply is given to the motor. Okay, then second side you can see the stator side resistance. Stator side resistance you can see here. Okay, so this stator side resistance, this is why, because it is used to reduce the voltage. As we know that voltage is equal to I into R. Voltage is equal to I into R. So V is equal to IR, we know that. So if suppose we will reduce the resistance, then we will vary the resistance, that means your voltage will reduce. Okay, so in order to apply the reduced voltage, means जर का आपण आपल्या मोटरला कमी व्होल्टेज दिलं तर आपली मोटर हळूहळू पडते. तेच मोटर आपल्याला कमी व्होल्टेज देण्यासाठी आपण काय करतो, वी हॅव ऍडेड द रेजिस्टन्सेस इन सिरीज विथ एच फेज. इथं जे रेजिस्टन्सेस ऍड केलेले आहेत ते काय आहे, they are connected in series with the every phase. So with the help of these we will vary the resistance, we will vary the voltage also. Okay, so that is the first type of the starter, that is the stator resistance starter. So whenever a reduced voltage will get applied to the stator, that means it will reduce the high starting torque, it will reduce the high starting current also. Now whenever motor will start to run, that time we will reduce that resistance gradually, we will cut off this resistance gradually. So whenever आपण जेव्हा हा मोटर आपली चांगल्या स्पीडला पळायला लागते, तेव्हा आपण हळूहळू हा रेजिस्टन्स काय करणार आहे, एलिमिनेट करणार आहे, काढून टाकणार आहे. आणि एकदा का आपण तो रेजिस्टन्स काढत काढत गेलो की त्यावेळेस आपल्याला आपला करंट वाढताना दिसेल आणि देन आवर मोटर विल रन्स ॲट अ नॉर्मल स्पीड. सो that starting method is very cheaply and very simple in a construction. So it can be used for the any kind of motor in a induction motor. But in large rating motor, there is, due to the resistance, there will be the losses. So this motor, this kind of starter is used for only low rating methods. Okay, so this is the first type. Then second, that is the auto transformer starter. Now what is that auto transformer starter? So auto transformer starter is also again used to reduce the voltage, it is used to reduce the applied voltage. So that is why this starter is known as auto transformer starter. So first of all, auto transformer means what? Auto transformer means what? The transformer which having a one winding where two windings are placed. Okay, means the primary as well as secondary, both windings are set up on a single coil. So what happens here, three phase supply is given to the auto transformer and the output of this auto transformer is given to the motor. So this auto transformer what will do, so प्रत्येकाला घरामध्ये जो रेग्युलेटर असतो, फॅन चालू करण्यासाठी जो रेग्युलेटर असतो तो माहित असेल, तर हा ऑटो ट्रान्सफॉर्मर विल एक्झॅक्टली वर्क लाईक अ रेग्युलेटर. मीन्स तुमच्याकडे गोल रेग्युलेटर असतो आणि त्या रेग्युलेटरने तुम्ही पहिल्यांदा 1 वरती घेता, देन यू विल कम टू द 2, 3, 4 अशा पद्धतीने तुम्ही काय करता, रेग्युलेटर चेंज करत असता. So however you are changing the switch, that time that switch will change its position, and whenever the position of the switch is going to change, that means the tapping, that is called as a tapping. So whenever that tapping will get changed, the automatically voltage will get added into the circuitry, and due to that your motor will then again run at a normal speed. So that is also one kind of method to start the induction motor or the protect high current of the starting from the induction motor. Then This is the third type, that is the star delta starter. Now what is meant by star delta? It is a type of connection. So whenever the star means what? Star means like a Y connection. Okay, star means, I will show you here. See here in figure, I will show you. Here, suppose here is my one winding, here is another winding, and another winding is here. So I will write here R. This is my B winding, and this is my B RYB. Three windings are there, and every winding's ending knob or end point is connected together. Every winding's end point or the second point is connected together, and this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So this is the 3 points. Okay, so that is mean 3 phases, but one is connected, one end of the every winding is connected together. Okay, so that is why this 3 phase, this is known as a star. Then secondary winding, that is the connected like in this way. So suppose R, Y, B. So now this R starts from here, but another end of R is connected to the start of Y. Then another end of Y is connected to the start of B, and the B another end is connected to the R. So that is means this is a delta winding, and this is the star winding. So what it exactly does? So in case of the star winding, what happens? This is very cheapest method. Okay, this is very cheapest method. In that method, what we will do? We are applying the voltage, and the voltage is converted when the stator windings. Now we'll come to the point here. The stator winding is in a star connection, whereas the delta winding is connected in a delta. Rotor winding is connected in a delta. So the voltage will get changed to the 1 divided by root 3. Voltage will get reduced by 1 by root 3. Means suppose I'll apply 100 volt. So that voltage will comes to the 100 by root 3, and that will goes to the rotor. That means the reduced voltage will get to the rotor, and due to that your starting current will be reduced. So that is one of the very good methods which is used to start the induction motor. Then the next is, that is the rotor resistance. Okay, rotor resistance means what? The simple three-phase supply is given to the stator or three-phase supply is given to the motor, but the rotor winding has been connected, some of the resistance is connected in series with the rotor winding. The resistance is connected in series with the rotor winding. So that is the difference only, nothing else. Okay, so resistance is connected in series, so that resistance is connected in series with the rotor winding, and that resistance which is connected in rotor winding, that will limit the rotor current to reduce the current drawn by the motor. So whenever that additional resistances will get added into the rotor circuitry, you can see here the 3 terminals has been taken out from the rotor, and there is a external resistance 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. There is a variable spots given for the resistance. So initially there is a maximum resistance. Why? Because initially there is a maximum resistance. Due to that there is a less current. So slowly gradually what we will do, we will reduce the resistance, and our motor will get gather the speed as well as current will increase, and then operation will be continuously operating. Okay, so like that way this will also help the induction motor to limit its starting current. And at least but not that is the last, that is the DOL starter, which is majorly used in the our agricultural, or every farmer use this kind of starter, that is the DOL starter. So this starter is mostly used in 5 to 10 HP motor. Okay, म्हणजे आपल्या ज्या शेतातल्या मोटर असतात तिथं. So see how this is connected. This is the RYB phase is given to the fuses. There is a fuses. Okay, then there is some kind of arrangement of there, the like a relays are connected. Okay, so how it will happen? So whenever we will give the supply to the phase, then one is come to this relay. This relay will get charged. Once this relay will get charged, and we will press the start button. Once we will press the start button, then this will get shorted. So once it will get started, this all M1 M2 M3 terminal will get shorted with this line. So once this will get started, then that time current will flow through this 3 winding, and supply is getting to the induction motor. But suppose we will place on the remote stop button. Once we will click on remote start button, that time this S4 will also come to the upside, and the all overload relay coil will get de-energized. And once that will get de-energized, then it will release this plunge. And once the plunge will be released, then our these switches get opened. And once that will get opened, then our motor will get 0 voltage. So such type of starter can be used where we need to connect the stator directly to the supply. Okay, so without any here we are not we are reducing any kind of voltage, but the starter is connected directly to the line. That means that is why it is known as a direct online starter, or we can say it is DOL starter. So that DOL starter here, at starting condition there is no any supply, so that time there is a zero supply getting to the stator. But once we will click on the on or start button, at that time that will ensure that supply getting on and that all contactors will be shorted. And once that all contactors will be shorted, that time current will flow through the winding and the induction motor will get supply. So that is the DOL starter. So that 5 starter we had seen for the induction motor, that is only study. So few questions will be asked there on the in the Viva based on the starters for the induction motor. The first question will be that explain starters used for the induction motor. The answer will be there will be the 5 starters which is used to limit the current in induction motor, that are star delta starter, stator resistance starter, rotor resistance starter, DOL starter, auto transformer starter. Okay, then next question is that what is DOL starter? DOL starter means direct online starter. So you can explain the working whatever I had explained here. Then explain star delta starter and auto transformer. So star delta transformer, that I had told you, stator winding is connected in star, where the rotor winding is connected in delta. So voltage will get reduced to the 1 by root 3. So that means if voltage is reducing, that means load current will reduce. So due to that, your motor will get limit the current. Auto transformer means what? There is like a regulator, there is a tappings provided in transformer, and once we will rotate the transformer for every tappings, then at that particular time it will increase the voltage, and due to that our motor will get run at a constant speed or it's a rated speed. What is the difference between stator resistance and rotor resistance starter? So simply we had seen in stator resistance starter, resistance is connected in series with the stator winding. In rotor resistance starter, rotor is resistance is connected in series with the rotor winding. In case of the rotor resistance, the rotor current is limited, but in case of the stator resistance, the stator voltage is limited. So due to that, we can control the, or we can uh, limit the starting current of induction motor. So like that way, 2 practicals today we had completed. I am just sharing the, just a minute. Okay, fine. You can check. Now I have shared practical number 6 in also group. So you can write it down, practical number 3 and practical number 6. So remaining practicals, that is the, that is we will take, okay, speed control of DC motor, flux and field, and load test on DC motor, load test on 3-phase induction motor. So remaining 3 practicals, 1, 2, 3, 4 practicals we will conduct. Okay. So for today we will stop here. You just write it down. Okay, you just try to complete this write up for this practical in this 30 minutes. Okay, remaining 30 minutes. So today we'll stop here only. If any questions, any queries, you are free to ask. Yes, Shubham Chingan, Shubham Gandule, Shivani, Nikita, Rajkumar, everybody, concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So for today we will stop here. For the next lecture, I think it may be at let me see. Okay, on Friday. Friday there is a lecture at 3:45 to 4:45. At that time we will conduct one practical. Others are study practicals. So we will go through the videos for the neighboring practicals. Okay, so for today we will stop here. Thank you very much. Try to complete the practicals, and once you will complete, just post a message to me personally. Then I'll share the link for the upload of the practicals. Okay, so based on that you will get your ICM marks. Okay, so we will stop here. Before leaving the class, just post your attendance into group, into chat. Leave your attendance in the chat box, and then leave, you can leave. Rishikesh, Ajit, Ruturaj, Abhijit, Kedar, just mark your attendance and leave the class.